Assalamu alaikum. Today we discuss the new plastic condition of uterus. First of all, I want to review the uterus. Uterus, as you know, there are three layers of the uterus. Inner one is the endometrium, middle one is the myometrium, which is composed of the smooth muscle, and the outer one is the serosa. And as you know, endometrium is shaped monthly under the influence of the hormone. So, first of all, what are the neoplastic conditions of the uterus? Number one is the endometrial polyp. As you know, the polyp is outgrowth. So these are sessile. Sessile, as you know, the meaning of the sessile is that the outgrowth which have broad base as compared to the pedunculated. Pedunculated have narrow base, but sessile have the broad base. So these endometrial polyps are mostly sessile, hemispheric lesion, yani half circle, ranges from 0.5 to 3 centimeter in diameter. Endometrial polyp mostly detected around the time of the menopause. Small polyps generally remains asymptomatic and are detected incidentally. When they produce no symptoms, so they are remain undetectable. Larger one ulcerate and degenerate. The most important complaint of these endometrial polyp is they can produce abnormal uterine bleeding, rarely giving rise to the cancer. And we talk about the cancer. So it is the endometrial polyp. It is the non-neoplastic condition most of the time. Non-cancerous condition. It is the benign condition. Sometimes it can change into the cancer. A cancer, a carcinoma can occur in the endometrial polyp. Which type? This is the serous papillary type of the uterine cancer, which we discuss in the later on. Now, grossly we see that it is the single or multiple. Mostly they are single, maybe multiple. Usually small and sessile, as I have told you. Sessile means which have broad bed. Occasionally large and pedunculated. As I have told you, the difference between the sessile and pedunculated. Sessile have the broad base and the pedunculated have narrow base. What are the histological features of this endometrial polyp? Are made up of mixture of endometrial gland and stroma. As you know, they arise from the endometrium, so they contain endometrial gland and stroma. And also endometrium is mostly cystic. They contain cystic spaces and hyperplastic type. As you know, hyperplasia means there is an increase in the number of the cells. So these endometrial polyps occur when there is a hyperplasia, and mostly these endometrial polyp is grow in response to the estrogen. Whatever the cause of the increased estrogen, they may lead to the production of the endometrial polyp, and mostly they seen in the peri or postmenopausal period, or maybe due to the obesity. Why? Because in peri or postmenopausal, when there is an ovulation, there is an unopposed estrogen as compared to the progesterone, so there is an excessive growth. So we can see these type of the polyp in the peri or postmenopausal period, and mostly they are occur due to the increased estrogen level. Now here you can see the uterine polyp, and now here you can easily differentiate between the pedunculated and sessile which have no stalk, but the pedunculated have the narrow stalk from where they are hanging. Here, cervical polyp, we also see cervical polyp, endometrial polyp, and you can see the difference between the sessile and pedunculated type of the endometrial polyps. So this is the one condition, neoplastic condition. Now the number two, Endometrial carcinoma. Endometrial carcinoma is the most common pelvic malignancy in female of United States and Europe, but it is uncommon in Asia, where cervical cancer is the leading cancer in women of age. Incidence of cervical cancer is decline in these areas in US and Europe. Why? Due to the aggressive cervical screening program. वहाँ पर जो है ज़्यादा एक्सेसिव सर्वाइकल स्क्रीनिंग होती है बिकॉज ऑफ द एक्सेसिव सर्वाइकल स्क्रीनिंग सो सर्वाइकल कैंसर ratio is declined in these areas. But in our area where the cervical screening is not so much, so the incidence of the cervical cancer is more as compared to the developed area. Here the number one is the breast cancer and number two is the cervical cancer. But in US and Europe or the developed areas, the endometrial carcinoma incidence is more as compared to the cervical cancer. Increased frequency of endometrial carcinoma in these countries may be due to the longevity of women's life in these areas. Why? Because these endometrial carcinoma is mostly occur in later years of the age, mostly in the post-menopausal women, yeah, perimenopausal women. The peak incidence is 6 to 7 decades of life and uncommon below 40 years of the age. Acha. Most important presenting complaint of the endometrial carcinoma is abnormal bleeding in postmenopausal women, or if they are not reaching to the menopause, there is a excessive flow of the blood, excessive menorrhagia. Menorrhagia, we see excessive flow is seen. Now, etiopathogenesis. Endometrial carcinoma comprise two distinct kinds, endometrioid and the number two is the serous carcinoma. Endometrioid means they look like endometrium. Normal endometrium, as you know, they contain the gland, they contain the stroma. So these tumor, which is common, is look like endometrium, normal endometrium. So the name is given to this carcinoma is the endometrioid. When oid is added, it means look like. They are not actual endometrium, but they look like endometrium. So this type of carcinoma, the name is given endometrioid, and it is more common, 80%. And the second one is the serous carcinoma, or other name is the serous papillary carcinoma. इसका incidence low है 20%. Exact etiology remain unknown. However, few factors are associated with increased frequency of endometrioid carcinoma development are chronic unopposed estrogen excess, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and infertility. Most of the time, the exact cause is unopposed estrogen. Whether these estrogen is coming from the outside, exogenous cause, the exogenous causes may be uh, the use of the hormone replacement therapy, maybe due to the, and in the endogenous causes maybe due to the maybe due to the polycystic ovarian syndromes and infertility. There is an anovulation, unopposed estrogen as compared to the progesterone. So the estrogen is mostly responsible for these endometrioid, yeah, endometrial carcinoma. And how obesity? And obesity, it is seen that there is a reduced level of the serum hormone binding protein. So free estrogen circulation is seen in the body. So these estrogen causes the endometrial carcinoma. And it is also seen that there is a peripheral fat in which there is an increased conversion of metabolite of estrogen, epiandrosterone to estrone. So there is an excess of the estrogen. Mostly we see the excess of the estrogen lead to these carcinoma, endometrioid carcinoma. There is a strong evidence of relationship of endometrial carcinoma with prolonged estrogenic stimulation. और क्या क्या causes हो सकते हैं? These are as under. Endometrial carcinoma associated with endometrial hyperplasia, and as you know, the exact cause of the endometrial hyperplasia is their unopposed estrogen secretion. Women having estrogen secreting tumor, granulosa cell tumor. have increased risk of developing endometrioid या adenocarcinoma of the uterus. Patients receiving prolonged exogenous estrogen therapy are at higher risk. As I have told you, exogenous hormone replacement therapy, or maybe due to any cause, the women using the estrogen. And the fourth one is the women of breast cancer receiving tamoxifen for prolonged period have twofold increased risk of developing uterine cancer. How? It is seen that the tamoxifen is the potent antagonist of estrogen in breast. But when they prevent the binding of the estrogen to the breast receptor, there is an increased circulating level of the estrogen, and this excessive circulatory estrogen causes the endometrial carcinoma or endometrioid. And tamoxifen act as a partial agonist of the estrogen in uterus. So mostly the circulating estrogen is the cause of this endometrioid. Other is the mutation in the mismatch repair gene and PTN. The PTN gene कौन सी होती है? PTN gene is the phosphatase and tensin. Phosphatase and tensin gene are early event in the development of endometrium. So the most important cause is the PTN gene mutation. PTN phosphatase and tensin gene provide instruction for making a phosphatase enzyme. And this phosphatase enzyme found in almost all tissues in the body. And this enzyme act as a tumor suppressor. So when there is a mutation in the PTN gene, there is an excessive development, and there is an imbalance between the cell cycle is seen. So there is an excessive growth of the endometrial cells. And it is also seen that the women with germline mutation in PTN, यानी कि phosphatase tensin gene में germline mutation means the mutation is the at the level of the germ cell. So all the ovaries or the all these other further development contain this mutation, and this is called as the Cowden syndrome. And this, what is the Cowden syndrome? Cowden syndrome other name, the other name of the Cowden syndrome is the multiple hematomy. It is the autosomal dominant inherited, and in this we see the presence of the aberrant type of the cells, and there is an increased chances of many tumor along with endometrioid. Other is the P53 gene mutation is uncommon and are believed to be led even in the genesis of the tumor type. So the certain associated factor along with the PTN gene mutation and also the P53, but P53 not the early event. Early event of this is the PTN mutation. PTN phosphatase tensin gene mutation. Later on we see there a mutation in P53. And the other, as I have told you, there are two types of the tumor which are mostly the endometrioid, and the second is the serous papillary. So the papillary serous variant is associated with mutation in P53. As you know, the P53 is also is the tumor suppressor gene. So when there is a mutation, so cell cycle is disturbed, there is an excessive growth. So nearly in all cases where as mutation in DNA mismatch repair gene and PTN are rare. So mismatch repair gene की mutation and mutation in PTN it's mostly we see in the endometrioid, and in mutation in P53 is mostly we see in the papillary serous variant. Other difference is that the serous cancer arises in setting of the endometrial atrophy. As you know, in endometrial there is a endometrial hyperplasia, but in papillary serous type there is a endometrial atrophy. And the difference between these two tumors is that it is mostly seen in the older postmenopausal women. Endometrial we can see in the premenopausal or reaching to the menopause, but this type of the tumor, serous type, is mostly we see in the older postmenopausal women, and also we see the endometrial atrophy, and also we see the mostly the P53 gene mutation in papillary serous cancer as compared to the endometrioid या endometrial carcinoma, in which we see the PTN gene mutation. So these are the some differences between these two tumors. Now, grossly, the carcinoma may have two patterns: localized polypoid tumor or diffuse type. Only involve one portion like polyp, or maybe diffusely involve the whole uterus. So tumor protrude into the endometrial cavity as irregular, friable, and gray tan mark, grayish, yellowish. Mass extension of growth into myometrium is common. In advanced cases, yeah, untreated cases, tumor may extend into the cervical canal and peritoneum. Tumor metastasizes to the lung, liver, bone, and other organs through hematogenous and lymphatic. So mostly there are two patterns, but most common tumor is diffuse tumor as compared to the localized polypoid tumor. What are the histological feature of these tumor is the depending upon the pattern of the gland and individual cell changes. These may be well differentiated, moderately differentiated, and poorly differentiated. So first of all, well differentiated adenoma, characterized by increase in the number of glands which are closely packed. Back-to-back arrangement. Back-to-back arrangement, that one gland is attached to the another. There is a less stroma, less fibrous tissue in between these glands. So there is a back-to-back arrangement. Glandular epithelium shows stratification. Stratification means they appear in many layers. Stratification, formation of papillae. When there is excessive growth, they form papillary or outgrowth. And atypical changes, because as you know, it is the carcinoma. So atypical type, they are not look like same. So atypical changes are seen. So it is all about the well differentiated. The gland is the present, stroma is there, but less stroma is present in between the gland. And gland contain many layered epithelium. Second is the moderately differentiated adenocarcinoma. Show all the features of the well differentiated along with presence of some solid sheet of malignant cells. In this moderately differentiated, we see the gland, but some solid sheet without glandular pattern we can see in this moderately differentiated. So some normal glandular cells, we can normal glandular epithelium, and some are solid sheet. Only they are arranged in groups. So this is the moderately differentiated. Third is the poorly differentiated. In poorly differentiated, as the name indicates, presence of the solid shape of the malignant epithelial cell, which show marked cytological atypia and frequent mitosis. When mitosis is more, it means it is represent the aberrant type of the cell growth. Their cell growth is become uh, increased, excessive. So in poorly differentiated, we can't see any glandular pattern. Only we see the sheet of the malignant type of the cell, which contain atypical type of the cell, and these cell contain or show the frequent mitosis. Glandular pattern is hard to find. Any glandular pattern nazar hi nahi aayega. Only we see the sheets of the neoplastic cells. So it is the difference between the well differentiated, moderately differentiated, and poorly differentiated. Well differentiated में gland है, stroma है, but less stroma. In moderately differentiated, gland है, stroma है, and along with sheets of the neoplastic cells are there. In poorly differentiated, only the sheets of the neoplastic with neoplastic cells or the malignant cells are arranged in group or arranged in sheets. Now the grading of the tumor, grade 1, well differentiated, predominantly glandular, stroma कम होगा. Moderately differentiated with contain glandular and partly solid area, यानी कि solid sheets of the malignant cell. Grade 3, poorly differentiated, predominantly solid, not contain the gland. Now the second variety is the papillary serous carcinoma. As I have told you, the differences is that they mostly due to the mutation in P53 gene, and it is mostly occur in the older women with postmenopause. Mostly it occur in the atrophic endometrial as compared to this endometrial type of the endometrioid tumor. So the in papillary serous, multi-layered malignant anaplastic epithelial cell, solid sheets of anaplastic cells with evidence of stromal invasion. So these solid sheet anaplastic cells, not only they are present in the group, they also invade in the stroma. They also invade in the fibrous tissue. Papillary formation are frequent, because of which the name is given papillary serous carcinoma. So the papillae formation are frequent in the background of atrophic endometrium, जो कि डिफरेंस है बिटवीन दीज टू ट्यूमर. इसमें एट्रोफिक है और उसके अंदर एंडोमेट्रियोइड के अंदर जो है वो हाइपरप्लास्टिक है. वो जो है वो पेरीमिनोपॉजल में या मिनोपॉजल में सकता है, और ये ज्यादातर मोस्टली it occur in the older menopausal women. And other is in endometrioid we see the mutation in the phosphatase and tensine gene. In this there is a mutation in the p50 gene. एंड अनकॉमन हिस्टोलॉजिकल वेरिएंट, ये तो दो वेरिएंट हो गए, दो टाइप्स हो गई. एक तो गई एंडोमेट्रियोइड, दूसरी है पेपिलरी सीरस जो ज्यादा होती है. और द लीस्ट जो वेराइटी है वो है एडिनोकार्सिनोमा विद स्क्वैमस मेटाप्लेजिया. It is a glandular pattern but with squamous metaplasia in some areas. So the name is given adenoacanthoma. Other is adenosquamous carcinoma, clear cell carcinoma, and mucinous carcinoma. It is the uncommon histological variant. So the most common is the endometrial carcinoma या adenocarcinoma, और दूसरा है papillary. The second one is the papillary serous carcinoma. Clinical course usually manifests with leukorrhea, excessive discharge, and irregular bleeding. These tumors slow to metastasize, but if left untreated, eventually disseminate to regional nodes and more distant sites. With therapy, the 5-year survival rate for early stages carcinoma is 90%. But survival drops in higher stage tumor. अगर जो more well differentiated, as you know, the well differentiated tumor have more survival rate as compared to the undifferentiated. And it is also seen the adenocarcinoma या endometrioid have good prognosis as compared to the papillary serous type. उसका prognosis एक bad है, bad prognosis of papillary serous type. Now you can see here the both two pattern, localized polypoid growth and diffuse growth, involve whole of the uterus. And here you can see the mass which involves whole of the uterine cavity, grayish look, and somewhere it invades the myometrium. Here you can see the picture which is drawn by the hand, or the original picture, localized polypoid and diffuse. It is the gross types of this carcinoma. Another picture of diffuse type. As you can see, they involve whole of the uterus. This is the picture of the well differentiated, as I have told you, back to back arrangement with least stroma. As you can see, there is a least stroma, very low quantity of stroma is seen between the gland. So this is the well differentiated type of adenocarcinoma. This is the moderately differentiated, in which we see the solid sheet along with some where gland are also seen. So the glandular pattern admixed with solid sheet. It is the moderately differentiated. As you compare with the well differentiated, only the glandular pattern along with a least quantity or low quantity or very small quantity of stroma. Here you can see the gland along with the solid sheet of the neoplastic cell. And here you can see no glandular pattern, no stroma, only the sheets of the neoplastic cell which show mitosis. They show many mitotic figures in them. And this is the undifferentiated or poorly differentiated adenocarcinoma. No glandular pattern, no stroma is seen, only the sheets of the malignant cells. This is the papillary serous carcinoma, and here you can see the papillae projections, finger-like projections are there. They are, this is the second variant, endometrioid, and the second is the papillary serous, which is most common, uterine carcinoma. Here you can see the papillary projections, finger-like projection, outgrowth, and this is the papillary serous carcinoma. Other variant, as I have told you, adenosquamous carcinoma, or here you can see the squamous, the keratin walls are there. So this is the adenosquamous carcinoma, along with the gland and along with the squamous carcinoma, adenosquamous carcinoma. वर्ड क्या होता है, वही कंसंट्रिक सर्कल्स है, वर्ड इसमें भी दिखा है। अब इसकी क्या है, इसकी जो क्लासिक वो है, स्टेजिंग है, स्टेज 1 में ट्यूमर कन्फाइंड टू द यूट्रस, ओनली दे इन्वॉल्व द यूट्रस, एंड वन इज अगेन डिवाइडेड इनटू 1A and 1B. 1A में less than 50% invasion of the myometrium, only then one less than 50%. 1B more than or half involvement of the myometrium. It is the one tumor confined to the uterus. Number two, tumor invade the cervical stroma but does not extend beyond the uterus. Cervical portion को involve किया लेकिन does not extend beyond the uterus. Third, local or regional spread of the tumor. And third is again divided into A, B, C. Third A, serosal or adnexal involvement. Adnexal means the structure which are present in the neighborhood. The third B, DB, vaginal or parametrium involvement. Third C है metastasis to the pelvic or the para-aortic lymph node. And third C is again divided into C1 and C2. C1 pelvic lymph node involvement and C2 para-aortic lymph node involvement. With or without pelvic node हो सकता है, और pelvic lymph node involve करे या ना करे, लेकिन इसमें क्या है, para-aortic lymph node involvement. The fourth, extension to the pelvic wall, lower one third of the vagina. And above you see only the cervix. Here you lower one third of the vagina is involved, or hydronephros, or non-functioning kidney means these tumors spread to the kidney. This is the stage 4. Fourth stage is again divided into 4A and 4B. 4A, invasion of the bladder or the bowel mucosa. 4B is the distant metastasis including abdominal or involvement of the inguinal lymph node. So it is the stages of the uterine carcinoma or adenocarcinoma of the uterus. Now the second variety of the tumor is the leiomyoma. As the name indicates, leiomyoma is the smooth muscle tumor, and it arises from as you know, that there are the different layers of the uterus, endometrium, and this is arise from the myometrium or from the muscular portion of the uterus. Other name of the leiomyoma is the fibromyoma or the fibroid, and it is the most common uterine tumor of the smooth muscle origin, often admits with the variable amount of the fibrous tissue. Smooth muscle भी है, fibrous tissue भी है. 20% of women above the age of 30 years develop myomas of varying size. So it is common in whole world. Mostly above the age of the 30, we see in 20% of the women these type fibroma, fibroid, leiomyoma. These are all the names of the this tumor which arise from the smooth muscle. Majority of them are benign and cause no symptom. Malignant transformation occur in less than 0.5%. So very rarely this leiomyoma can change into the leiomyosarcoma. Very rare, 0.5%. Common symptoms, if present, are abnormal uterine bleeding, pain, symptoms due to the compression of surrounding structure. When they are increased in size, so it produces the compression to the surrounding structure and it lead to the infertility. Because it produces difficulties in the that the fertilized ovum access to the uterus, so it may cause infertility. Exact cause is not known, but possible stimulative estrogen. Here is also the cause of the leiomyoma is excess of the estrogen. So mostly we see this type of the tumor in the reproductive years of the life, or most of the time it regrades after the menopause. Leiomyoma may occur within the myometrium. It is called intramural. The serosa, subserosa, or just underneath the endometrium submucosa. So, which is present in the canal, which arise from the or present above the endometrium. It is called submucosal. When this tumor is present between the wall, it is called intramural, and when it present outside, it is called subserosal. So these are the three varieties of the leiomyoma: intramural, subserosal, and submucosal. Grossly, what are the features? Leiomyomas are often multiple. circumscribed, firm, nodular, gray-white masses of variable size. On cut section, characteristic whorl pattern. When you concentrate, circles are seen. Histological feature: whorl bundle of smooth muscle cell admixed with variable amount of connective tissue. Smooth muscle cells are uniform in size and shape with abundant cytoplasm and central oval nuclei. Secondary changes may be seen like hyaline degeneration. What is hyaline degeneration? Hyaline degeneration is the structural element of affected cells are replaced by homogeneous translucent material. How it is possible? Yeah, why? Because of the accumulation of the proteinaceous tissue. Accumulation of the proteinaceous tissue. So the affected cell is changed into the homogeneous translucent material. It is called the hyaline degeneration. When the cyst is developed, it's the cystic degeneration, infarction, blood supply loss, calcification. As you know, there are two types of the calcification: metastatic and dystrophic. Dystrophic, which occur in the dead tissue. So when the blood supply is lost, there is a type of the dystrophic calcification can occur. And other, uh, there may be infected and suppuration. Suppuration, pus formation, we see in gliomas. Here you can see easily the three types of the gliomyoma, which is present in the wall is called intramural. When it is outside, it is called subserosal. When it is present towards the cavity, it is called submucosal. इसमें पेडेंकुलेटेड भी हो सकता है, नॉन पेडेंकुलेटेड भी हो सकता है. तो ये तीन वैरायटी है: इंट्राम्यूरल, subserosal, and submucosal. Here, whorling appears. It is the gross picture of the leiomyoma, and you can see the whorling pattern of the smooth muscle. This is the gross picture of the leiomyoma. Here you can see the microscopic picture. Whorling pattern you can see. These are uniform. There is no abnormality because leiomyoma is a benign tumor arise from the smooth muscle. Here you can see multiple whorls, multiple concentric circles are there. This is another picture of the histopathological picture of the leiomyoma. Now the last one is the leiomyosarcoma. Is an uncommon malignant tumor as compared to its benign counterpart. As I have told you, the leiomyoma is common. So leiomyosarcoma is not so much common, and peak age incidence is 4 to 6 decade of life. Symptom produced are non-specific such as uterine enlargement and abnormal uterine bleeding. They are almost always solitary and mostly occur in post-menopausal women as compared to the leiomyoma, which is mostly multiple and occur before menopause. As I have told you, leiomyosarcoma is mostly solitary, but leiomyoma is multiple. Leiomyosarcoma mostly occur in after the menopause, and this leiomyoma is mostly seen in reproductive years of the life. Recurrence after removal is common. When it is surgically removed, it can reoccur. So recurrence is common. Metastasizes typically to lung, liver, bone, and brain. In 5 years, survival is about 40%. Now, grossly, tumor may form diffuse, bulky, soft, hemorrhagic necrotic masses, maybe polypoid mass projecting into the lumen. And what are the common histological features? Usually some areas showing whorled arrangement, वही concentric circle of spindle shape smooth muscle cell having large and hyperchromatic nuclei as compared to वहाँ पर कोई ना hyperchromatic है, only we see the spindle type of the cell with oval nuclei. Here we see the large cell and hyperchromatic nuclei. Somewhere it is written that these nuclei are look like cigar. So the cigar-shaped nuclei are present in this type of the sarcoma. Essential diagnostic criteria are more than 10 mitosis per 10 high power feet with or without cellular ATPA, or 5 to 10 mitosis per 10 high power feet with cellular ATPA. It is the most important diagnostic feature or most important diagnostic tool how we can diagnose that if 10 mitosis is present, then cellular atypia is present or not present. We label it as a leiomyosarcoma. But if cellular atypia is present, then 10 mitosis is enough. 5 to 10 mitosis is enough to label a slide as a leiomyosarcoma. So when only the mitosis is present, then if we see cellular atypia or not, we label it as this is the uh, this is the leiomyosarcoma. If cellular ATP is present, then 10 mitosis is enough. In 10 mitosis is enough to label a slide as a leiomyosarcoma. More the number of the mitosis per 10 high power fit, worse is the prognosis. So when we see more mitosis, so the prognosis of this tumor is bad. So this is the diagnostic important criteria for label aside that it is a leiomyosarcoma. Now here we can see the picture of cross picture of the leiomyosarcoma, and here you can see the hemorrhage, red and cells which are running in various directions. They contain hyperchromatic dark nucleus, and you can see atypical type of cell. Not they all look like same, or they are not look like same shape. So and you can see the mitotic figures are there. So this is the picture of leiomyosarcoma. Another picture, and you can see here also the, and you can see the mitotic figure in the cell. So this is the leiomyosarcoma, histological picture of the leiomyosarcoma. Now, this is the staging of the leiomyosarcoma. Stage 1, tumor limited to the uterus. It again divided in 1A and 1B. Less than 5 centimeter, 1A. More than 5 centimeter is the 1B. Number 2, tumor extend beyond the uterus within the pelvis. And 2 is again divided into the 2A and 2B. 2A adnexal involvement, the involvement of the surrounding structure. And the 2B involvement of other pelvic tissue. Adnexal means surrounding structure, or other pelvic tissue is involved, it is the 2B. Third is the tumor invade the abdominal tissue, not just protruding into the abdomen. यानी कि only invade नहीं करेंगे, protrude करेंगे. अब third जो है again divided into third A, third B, third C. One side involvement is the third A. Third B more than one side. Third C metastasis to the pelvic or para-aortic lymph node. Fourth is the fourth A tumor invade bladder and rectum, and fourth B is the distant metastasis. So this is the staging of the leiomyosarcoma. So today lecture is ended here. Now any question? Excuse me. Unmute कर दो.